Good evening, racing fans, and welcome to Speed Gaming 2. Today we've got a Link to the Past Randomizer daily race with overworld glitches. We're featuring Chex Human and Orange, and joining me in the booth is Malmo.
Hello, everybody. Sorry for the wait. This is going to be totally worth the wait. This is overworld glitches, and I'm very excited.
We are still currently getting the last bits of the race set up, and then we will be ready to go. So, for reference, I have next to no overworld glitch knowledge, so Malmo's going to be answering my questions a lot, I think.
Yep, and you're going to be asking all the questions, helping me along. This is going to be a wild ride for everybody. Chex Human, we're just waiting on Chex Human to set up his ROM, and then I'll drop the gates in about a minute. So what is overworld glitches? Overworld glitches is a mode that expects you to go out of bounds in the overworld. Out of bounds usually means you're abusing diagonal slopes. Diagonal slopes have some very wonky collision that you can use to either go right through them or to set up what's known as a teleport, which I'll explain later, but the teleport lets you jump up and down rapidly, getting on these plateaus that you normally can't walk on. So I think we're ready to go. I'm going to drop the gate now and we'll get going.
So the race will begin in roughly
10 seconds.
Plus stream delay time.
Oh, yeah.
So for example, one of those diagonal slopes, would one of those be, for example, the edge of the K45 ledge?
Exactly. K45 is actually my very first teleport that I learned. It's one of the easier ones. They're all kind of mostly the same, but we'll be seeing it in a second because we're starting. Both of us at Sanctuary. Sanctuary start is a common start in overworld glitches because you can loop in the Lost Woods and then go up the mountain straight away using a glitch. It's very common for people to skip Kakariko for as long as possible because so much of the world is open to them. They really want to be grabbing certain items like the glove or the bottle or the shovel before going that way.
And for reference for the game settings, is it still a get 7 crystals, defeat Ganon type seed?
It is, yes. So we did defeat Ganon because using a glitch, you can get into Ganon's tower with nothing but the Moon Pearl. You don't even need that if you know how to one-frame clip, but the seed will never expect you to do that. So with nothing but the Moon Pearl, you can get into Ganon's tower, collect all the items inside, and there's no junk fill. So it would feel pretty bad if you were playing fast Ganon, because you would... Oh, that's a book. Book on Lumberjack. Well, we'll be seeing... that would probably be last location for most of these runners. Book is not required to get into Desert. You can just clip right up there. So the only thing Book really does is unlock the tablets.
But since we do need to collect crystals to defeat Ganon, it's worth noting we had blue crystal on Desert Palace, red crystal on Tower of Hera, and green pendant on Eastern.
Early bombs. So one of the things that you do is you try to collect bombs for Kakariko. One way to do that in overworld glitches is to go straight up the mountain and then go straight down the mountain again to Graveyard Ledge, which has 4 bombs inside. But with those 10 bombs, we might be seeing something else for these players. Now that they have bombs, they might not be going straight to Graveyard Ledge, as we often see.
So a common route is up the mountain just to go back down to Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, so Orange is not going that way. He's going to take these bombs straight into Kakariko. We'll see what Chex Human does. Seems to have forgotten the... Oh, he's setting up a water walk. Okay, so Chex Human's setting up a water walk. He's going to go to South Shore from here using this kidney pool that's near Sanctuary. This is a play I don't see very often, but it's very heads up. So he dashed near that pit in the Lost Woods, setting up a water walk to use this whirlpool, going straight to Ice Rod Cave. He's going to take a detour here. He's going to check the island to see if it's worth clipping to. It appears to be a rod of some sort. So yeah, we will be seeing that very shortly because Hylia Island is something you can just get to with a clip. If that is the ice rod, they'll skip it and come back for it later when they're ready to go to TR. But if it's a fire rod, they're going to be getting that soon.
We also found a bow in the blind hideout.
So it looks like Chex has put off Ice Rod Cave in favor of Hobo, using that water walk to get around the water quickly. A very interesting way to route in Hobo and Hylia Island, which you normally do from Link's house. So let's see where he goes from here. It's not really his style to go straight to CAC, even with the bombs, but I might be proven wrong here. Yeah, he's going up the mountain. So we're going to get to see our first major glitch. This is called Death Mountain Ascent. What he's doing here is he's going to clip up this slope. Jumping down here is actually going to wrap him around the screen to where Bumper Ledge would be in the Dark World. He kind of messed up a little bit, so he has to do a little backup clip here. He's dropping down to the old man cave. Even though you can't see it, all that collision is there, and so is the entrance.
That was exciting.
Yep, that was old man cave. No glove necessary.
So I can see why we go up mountain quickly with that.
Yep. You can get there right away. The logic still expects you to have a lamp to rescue the old man, but it's not the only way up the mountain, so everything on the mountain is in logic with nothing but the boots. Meanwhile, Orange has routed through Kakariko, found nothing really but the bow. The cape. Yeah, the cape is fine. Cape doesn't mean much yet. Of course, as you can see, Bumper Ledge is not something you need the cape for in the Light World or the Dark World. Okay, so Orange is going to do our first teleport. This is an upwards teleport. He's actually going to use it to go down. The collision's a little weird here. So the way teleports work is there's certain pixels inside the wall where the game tries to kick you out when you move into the wall, but the math goes wrong and it kicks you out way too far. Now, if you're on one of those pixels, you'll go high, and if you're on one of the other pixels, you go low.
I'm assuming that's another similar to what we just witnessed on Orange's screen.
Yeah, Orange's screen is kind of a weird non-standard teleport where you actually go up to go down. What's happening is he's teleporting up to an invisible ledge and then hopping down. Most teleports will look a lot more straightforward than that, where you'll just see them pop into the out-of-bounds area directly, and it's going to be a little bit more obvious what they're doing. Desert Palace is, it's just overworld for most people. You'll almost never see the front of Desert get skipped. Back of Desert, easy to put off, because when you get here, you often have no equipment to kill Lanma with. You still need that fire source to get inside. You do not need a glove to get in, but you do need a glove to get out. So Cheximan is going to pick up that rod. It is, in fact, the fire rod, so definitely a good thing to have when you go to Desert, because now you can kill Lanmolas.
I'm having a feeling that, as I'm watching this, routing can differ extremely well in this game mode.
Oh yeah, so Chex is doing a route that I've only actually seen him do ever, which is going from Link's house to CAC instead of going from Sync to CAC. This will have him go through Desert first. It's a little bit strange that he's doing this, having the fire rod but no glove, because he's going to have to skip Lanmolas and not be able to fight him without getting stuck there afterwards. So he's not going to be able to route that into Kakariko. He'd have to either do Lanmolas or skip Lanmolas. So yeah, he's just doing a quick pit stop at Cave 45. I imagine he's going to do Kakariko and then loop back down, do Race Game from above, doing a different clip where he kind of blind checks it. And then he's going to go down to Desert from there. It's a very unusual route that I only see him do.
These clips are kind of impressive to me.
They're not as hard as they look. The series of not one frame, but same frame inputs, so you're just hitting two at the same time. If you adjust your controller grip so that your same hand is doing both buttons, it's actually pretty easy to do. And then from there, it's just knowing what the pixels look like and where you have to stand. very easy to learn. There's just a lot of them. If you want to learn, there's a lot of people in the community who are willing to help out. Go into Discord, either the main Rando Discord or one of the community Discords, and just ask for somebody to teach you glitches, and somebody will jump in. People love teaching glitches. So Orange is heading to South Shore. This is going to be your first South Shore check.
I'll admit, I'm on the edge of my seat wondering what we're going to see next, so...
Yeah, so Orange is going to go from Dam to Mini Moldworm Cave to Ice Rod Cave. Pretty standard route. He's going to take a water walk, and he's either going to go to Hobo or he's going to go to the Zora. It's probably going to depend a little bit on how comfortable he is with the clip to Hobo from Link's house, and whether or not he has the money for Zora. He also has mentioned in the race room chat that he knows how to do something called Zora Death Mountain Ascent, which is a Death Mountain Ascent you do from the other side of the world. It's a pretty complicated one, only a couple people know. Checkseaman and Orange both know how to do it, so you might be seeing it twice. What it does is it gets you straight to East Death Mountain instead of the Old Man Cave.
I can see how that would be convenient.
Yeah, once you see it though, you'll see why most people don't do it. It's very complicated. I will fully admit to not knowing how to do it myself. I think I learned it once and then immediately forgot.
Orange is showing why I don't like archery Mini Moldworm Cave.
Yeah, best to just use your bombs here. There is a clip to get into Ice Rod Cave without bombs, so if you know how to do it, then you can be pretty blasé with your bombies here. And Orange has picked up Hammer and Moon Pearl. That is... Moon Pearl alone is Dark World access. Hammer is also very convenient.
I was going to hazard a guess that if we can clip down to Graveyard Ledge, we can do the same clip in the Dark World to get down to the Dark World Graveyard from Death Mountain, can't we?
Check the out of bounds hop from Kakariko directly to Desert. Buffering himself to the edge of the screen so that when he hops down, it takes him straight to the other out-of-bounds area. Meanwhile, Orange is going to Ice Rod Cave. That's going to be our first check of this location. On the way out, you'll see him arm a water walk as well. So we'll be watching closely where he takes that.
This one's just the same water walk setup that gets used in non-glitch modes as well, so...
Yeah. Now, the main difference between water walk here and water walk in non-glitch modes, in here it's in logic. You are expected to do this, so that means that the flippers can be in Waterfall Ferry. They can be on Zora Ledge. You can get to Zora Ledge by clipping there from a water walk. Orange is not going to be going that way. He is going to be going... Oh, I'm wrong. He's going to Zora. He just decided to take the scenic route to check the island first. It's going to be a common theme in this race where I try to guess where people are going and then get repeatedly proven wrong. That is Magic Powder at Waterfall.
So, it's worth noting that both of these runners are veteran OWG runners.
Oh, yeah.
So, believe me, I will be baffled the entire race.
Yeah, so last time we ran overworld glitches on Speed Gaming, we had people in a mentor tournament. They were brand new to the mode, had just learned like last month how to do it. Put on a really good show for us, but this time we get to see what old school looks like in overworld glitches. We're going to see a lot of techniques that have possibly not been taught to all our mentees yet, or have been obsoleted by newer techniques, but these are the ones that our runners are comfortable with. So, very interesting. Checkseaman is going into Agina's cave first. I think because he already did cave 45, so he's either going to save and quit out. Oh, we're missing the Zora Death Mountain Ascent from Orange. There you go. So Orange has clipped up the mountain. I'm going to try my best to explain what he's doing here, but I actually don't know how to do this. He's going to hop into this weird little ledge here that's on the edge of the screen. And then there's going to be a little bit of screen wrapping happening here. Hits the transition from the wrong side that moves him over half a screen, jumps down, walks into a cave to correct his camera. I'm about as confused as you are. That's Checkseaman's doing splash delete here to get to where are you going? Long way. I think he wants to hit the whirlpool from the other side so he doesn't... Oh, he hasn't been to Ice Rod Cave yet. It's an interesting route.
Well, here's Paradox Cave.
Is this really the fastest way to Ice Rod Cave? Splash delete from Link's house? It looks faster.
I mean, Cheximan would probably be the one to know.
Yeah. Well, sometimes he'll just do things for fun. Like, he's a very strong runner. He's confident in his execution. He knows he can be a little bit experimental in races and not lose too much.
Well, that was kind of an unexciting Paradox Cave.
So keep an eye on Chex. He might be doing another Zora Death Mountain Ascent from here because he's also going this way. And he likes to do that. That's his preferred way to get to East Death Mountain.
So I'm assuming that since we have our Moon Pearl, we basically have the entire Dark World open to us now.
Yes. It's not even all that bad. We have a hammer. That's a weapon that you can use for blinds. You can do Thieves' Town with a good conscience if you can pull off that hammer blind. We do have the bow, so we could go to Eastern instead, but it is a pendant, so our runners are probably going to be reluctant to go there. Pod is a little iffy without fire. Even runners of this caliber have trouble with the Dark Turtles room with nothing but this equipment that they have here.
But they do have a fire rod for that room.
Fire rod, that's true. Fire rod makes that much easier. I'm still not sure they're going to beeline pod just because usually you get to pod from other places in overworld glitches. For example, you can clip down from Catfish.
Exciting. What's
right, so
that clip?
This is Mini Moldorm Cave shortcut clip. I've already lost track of what Chex has and hasn't done. Apparently, Mini Moldorm Cave is one of them. He doesn't have his Moon Pearl yet.
He has not done South Shore, I know that.
Yeah.
And here's a fire clip again.
He did a weird route to, like, Hobo from the North Light World. So I already lost track of where he's been.
Once again, throwing a straight line attack at a Mini Moldorm is infuriating.
Our tracker, Professor Pixie, give her a shout out, by the way. She is literally dizzy from tracking these racers, and so am I. Even just figuring out where they've been is hard. When you're tracking these races, they're not going where you normally expect them to go, so it can be a lot harder than tracking a normal open 7-7.
The good news is I'm expecting them to go anywhere, and they're proving me right.
Yeah, hard for me because I know the overworld glitch routes, and they're not doing those. They're doing their own thing. Especially Chex. We're just doing more conventional routing here. Going to the old man. The only thing unconventional he has done so far is going to East Death Mountain first from Zora.
I mean, if you know the clip and you're in the area, I don't think I see a problem with it.
Oh no, it's a good route. The reason you don't see it often is because that clip that he did to get up there is hard to learn. Most people haven't learned it.
Yeah, it looks complicated for certain.
It's not very hard to do. I've done it before once. It's just hard to remember how to do it.
Because a lot of these clips do take some precise inputs.
All right, Orange is clipping up to Tower of Hera. So what he did there is he clipped in the middle of the rail. He clipped off the screen, but he fell too far and actually wrapped to the screen. Oh, man. It's hard. They're both doing things at the same time. Chex Human just did a little bomb clip to get up here. He's going to go to land Molus, clipping into this railing, which pops him up here past the rocks. No glove necessary. We'll get to see plenty more Hera clips from these runners, so I can explain that one later.
I've actually... Hera clip and or the Dark World GT clip are actually clips I've done when I'm playing Multiworlds, so...
Yeah, they're actually quite easy.
It's what I can understand.
You'll be seeing them a lot just because it is often the fastest way to get around the world. You start at Death Mountain and you clip somewhere from there. Chex is going straight for the top of Hera. No hook shot for Hera Pot, so he's going to be going through the basement, collecting this item here from the big chest, I imagine. So he doesn't have to worry about orphaning the big chest by doing Harapot. I think I said Chex, but it's actually Orange doing that. Chex is doing Lamellus.
You know, when you've got 2 runners in dungeons, it's a little bit tame to keep up with.
Yeah, we should have had Orange pick a sprite that's literally orange so I could keep track of them better. But no, he's purple, which is the opposite of orange, so it's a little hard. Alright, we get a nice little kind of pseudo NMG Lamo from Chex. He used up all his magic to get here, so he's not going to be able to use the Fire Rod. He does have a hammer for backup if he runs out of arrows, but don't think he's going to need them. He is very skilled at this game.
Orange has decided to set up a death warp off the Stalfos in the basement to just make it easier to get out of here.
Yeah. Alright, let's see where Chex goes next. He has quite a bit of world open to him.
I imagine the first step is save and quit, probably to Death Mountain.
Yep, usually how things begin. Everything starts at Death Mountain.
Technically, it ends at Death Mountain, too.
Heh. Well, kind of. In this mode, we don't always do GT last. In fact, GT is actually a good play for these runners. They do have a hammer. They can sequence break a good portion of the left side. And because there's no junk fill and there's, 22 items down there. 23, actually. It can be a very lucrative play. So Chex is going to follow Orange, and we'll see if he decides to do Hair Basement now or if he puts it off. That's a lamp. All right. That will make Pod more appealing to the runners. They won't have to worry about dark rooms. Even with that Fire Rod, it can be a little bit slow to do it that way compared to just having the lamp. All right, so Chex is going to go straight up as well.
It does make a little bit of sense, even from how easy it is to get up here. It does make a little bit of sense to do Hera before doing GT here, just because you don't have a mirror, so you can do them in the right order.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you do have a mirror, you have easier exit from the basement. And if you were to find a hook shot, you could skip the basement entirely. So there's an argument to be had either way. I think both runners are probably thinking they don't have enough direction in the Dark World yet. The only thing they've really found is like pod items.
Chex has to be careful here.
He's setting up this death warp here, but he's really drawing a thin line here. All right, let's see. Oh, the Moldorm. The Moldorm.
Some pause buffers to get... That is a strategy I don't see often.
Orange
pause
did,
buffering to get through a room.
Orange did get the lamp at the top of Hera. It was in the Hera big chest. That is a flute. Flute is nice. We will be grabbing it because it's pretty early in the game. It is not required for this mode. Anything that you would normally flute to, you can just clip to.
It's a convenience item at best.
It is. And this early in the game, it's also a speed item. It will make your game faster overall. The time it takes you to grab it and bomb jump back over more than makes up for, or I guess less than makes up for the time gain you get for, oh, I said that in the wrong order. You know what I mean. It's worth it. Get the flute.
Alright, so I imagine we're going... Oh, we have our map check. Pendants on Thieves and Turtle Rock, and was that Red Crystal on Misery Mire?
Alright, let's talk about red crystals, because we don't have a mirror yet. Red crystals are only relevant if you don't have the mirror, because you can use the mirror to clip into Pyramid Fairy. So it is something to keep on the back of your mind when you're tracking your own race. What your red crystals are. You don't have to pay super close attention to them, but do pay attention to your menu at least. If you have them, you're still looking for mirror, that is a location that can be unlocked. There's a sword, so we're going to see a teleport. Orange is going to do a downward teleport here. It's going to pop him up on the ledge, and he's going to hop over to that sword. No cape necessary. He has the cape, doesn't need it.
Hooray! Skipping the bumper cave.
Yep.
And then we had that Dark Death Mountain descent we saw, which looked a lot like the one to get to cave or a graveyard ledge.
Yeah, it's a little bit simpler. So what you do is you clip through there, and then you dash turn up, bonk off of that wall that's above you that you can't see, and then just hold down, and then you'll auto walk down through the collision. Now, there is a little bit of a risk of hard lock there. If you don't do those things and you just like walk down or just walk up, your screen, so you'll hit the transition wrong. The game will try to transition you, but it'll not have a resolution, and it'll just keep transitioning you forever. And the only way to get out of that state is to hard reset. And having done Tower of Hera, they did have some progress to lose doing that. So that was a little bit risky to do, but it's not a hard glitch. You just have to kind of be a little careful.
We have a Master Sword in Skullwoods.
All right.
And it looks like Chex clipped up the ledge by the Dark World portal and went to Eastern Death Mountain.
Yeah, I was totally wrong about Chex doing Zora Death Mountain Ascent. He's doing a Spiral Cave. He did Hobo. Did he do yeah, because he has the powder, so he's not going to be clipping down here. He's going to stop here and probably save and quit. Orange has half a heart going into Land Molas, or Mothula. Not sure what his plan is here.
You mean there's not an overworld glitch to skip Mothula?
Nope.
That's unfortunate.
I'm very worried for Orange right now. No matter how good you are, this
Powder, help it hit this bunny beam.
Mothula is still Mothula. You can, but
Mini Bouldrums are even worse.
Yeah, all of these enemies are deadly. They're all going to kill him in one hit, so...
He had the powder. He was looking for the bunny beam.
Okay, so Orange is taking a death in the Dark World. So let's talk about fake worlds. There is a glitch in the vanilla game that was patched out in normal randomizer, where if you die in the Dark World, the game puts you in the Light World. That's true whether you're in the overworld or in the dungeon. So in the overworld, of course, you'll just like save and quit to Link's house or whatever. But in the dungeon, you will go to the start of the dungeon, but you'll be in the Light World. And that confuses the game a little bit. When you walk out, you'll still be on the Dark World screen. All the entrances will still be there. But the game will think you're in the Light World, and as soon as you make a transition, you're going to be kicked back into the real Light World. Orange does not have a way to fix this. He's just going to fight Mothula, and then he's going to be in the Light World, and that's nothing really he can do about it. Now, the one way to fix that would be if you had the mirror, you can actually mirror back to the Light World, or the Dark World, which is very strange to hear. But the thing that the mirror checks for is that you're on the Dark World screen, not that you're in the Dark World, so you can fix your world with the mirror.
You say mirror back to the Dark World, and I think I'm an inverted player. That's normal.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's just because of the way the mirror works. It just toggles your world. It doesn't say go to the Dark World, it just says go to the other world. So it'll take you from the Light World to the Dark World. Orange has taken down Mothula against all odds here. He knows he's in fake Dark World, so he's going to save and quit. Okay, checks him in. Doesn't have a glove to lift that rock. That is not going to stop him. He is going to clip up from below, and he's going to do what we call hookshot cave clip. You clip in here. It's very similar to Hera clip, where you kind of wrap yourself around the screen. Drop off of this ledge here, wrap yourself around, and you enter at the very top of Floating Island Hookshot Cave entrance.
Seems useful.
And Orange will do another Death Mountain descent for us to get back to the Dark World. That death in Skullwoods cost him a little bit of time. I wonder why Chex opened that wall. I wonder if he plans on getting a heal. If he's probably gonna hover because he just killed that Bari. Usually when you kill that Bari over there, that means you're gonna hover. So.
Please tell me the game doesn't expect you to hover.
Nope. Okay, so let's talk about the rules and the logic a little bit too, since you mentioned that. This is overworld glitches, which means the only major glitches you're allowed to do are in the overworld. Underworld glitches that are allowed in no glitches logic are still allowed, so you can still Hera pot, you can still Icebreaker, but you can't do anything that's major in the underworld. Now, as far as the logic goes, the Logic is kind of made for not necessarily newer players, but it is supposed to be a beginner-friendly logic for glitch players. So nothing is really expected of you that's extremely difficult. So we're going to be seeing some things from them that I'm going to be calling sequence breaks, and those are going to be out-of-logic glitches that they're doing. Okay, so this is why Chex opened that fairy. He knows that he needs a heal so that he can continue to hover. I'm interested to see if Orange attempts this too. Orange does know how to hover. Yeah, he will attempt it. He killed the Bari.
I wonder if part of it is Orange knows that Chex would hover this as well and doesn't want to miss anything important that could be here.
Quite possibly. Orange is giving it the old college try. He's doing it once. He doesn't want to waste too much time. Chex did not get anything good out of this, so he lost time doing this hover. The only time he would gain back is if Orange makes a dedicated trip back up here just to do Hookshot Cave. Alright, so Orange just fell off the bottom of the screen. We'll see Chex do it too. This is just a really simple spin speed clip. So, Orange did spin speed because he has a sword. Chex is just going to clip with the boots. So when you arm a spin speed... Oh no, he missed. Alright. So
that was unfortunate.
Yeah, it's because he did the boots clip and got knocked up a little bit. You want to be at the very bottom of the screen when you do it, so you hit the transition in exactly the right way. It sends you into what's called a funny auto walk thing, where you just kind of walk down, ignoring collision until Link stops, and then... Alright, Chex is thinking. Orange is doing a clip. He uses a teleport. He's going down to pod.
It's definitely broken the overworld's palettes, so...
Yeah, he has...
Very pretty colors.
He has imported the Death Mountain palette into pod. This is the palette intended for the Void on Death Mountain, being applied to pod. Looks a little bit weird. Alright, Chex is doing a different Death Mountain descent. He has chosen not to correct his camera by entering Tower of Hera. He is still screen wrapped, and that's going to put him in an interesting state where when he drops off of this ledge here, he's going to move over to the left, and he's going to drop in a very specific location that's going to make him fall a bunch of times. This is called a super jump. He is falling down the map. He is actually going to land at the bottom of the map near Swamp Palace.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he's at Swamp now. He can walk in here, correct his camera at Swamp because any dungeon or multi-entrance cave will correct your camera.
And now we're in South Dark World.
Alright, so Orange is in pod. As I predicted, this is a very tempting play when you have, it's a crystal, you have everything you need to beat it, it's in logic.
And you even have a sword to make it easier.
Yeah. Chex is going south to north and is not going to be getting those swords for a while. He might be going into Thieves Town without a sword, which is very interesting.
A player of Chex's caliber won't be afraid of that, though.
Yeah, it's also a pendant, so he might just go only first four, walk out, because death warping will put you in the wrong world.
Yeah, that could get rookie players for mode who've played the normal Randomizer, because we don't have to deal with the fake worlds.
Yeah, so the reason we don't patch it out in glitch modes is because they can be abused. One way you can abuse fake worlds is to not be a bunny in the dark world. We don't have to worry about that. We have the Moon Pearl, but if we did have the Mirror instead, Mirror gives you some limited dark world access without Moon Pearl. And Death Warping in Skull Woods will put you in fake dark world. You will be Link again and still be able to full clear Skull Woods without becoming a bunny. Dungeon Bunny Revival and Super Bunny are both in logic. They're the only glitches in the underworld that are in logic. Just mostly because it kind of opens up some fun locations. If Dungeon Bunny Revival and Super Bunny were in logic, then all of that Mirror Death Mountain Descent stuff wouldn't be useful.
Because you want to keep... You need to be able to use that... Dark World state as you can.
Yeah, well, so... If we ever have more glitch races on Speed Gaming, we'll have an opportunity to talk about Mirror Death Mountain Descent. This isn't really the seed for that because we found
Yeah, we have the
Pearl.
Moon Pearl, so.
But this should be incentive to have more races with this mode because it's a very fun mode with a lot of interesting configurations that the seed can put out. For example, it can put the Moon Pearl on Cold Stare with the right items. It can put the Moon Pearl on Trinex.
Ugh.
Yep.
Moon Pearl on Cold Stare?
Indeed.
Who said that was okay?
And the reason Moon Pearl can be on Cold Stare is because you can walk into Ice Palace and die to a freeze orb and become Link. And that's it. You have everything else you need to clear the dungeon, fake flippers and logic, so you don't even need the flippers. You just need the mitts and whatever is needed to clear Ice Palace.
Oh, that's a pretty normal Ice Palace clear then.
So Chex is doing that same route, clipping to... I'm not sure how he got up here, actually. I totally missed this route. I think he actually used the... I think he actually just walked to Catfish.
It looked a lot... I think he walked to Catfish.
Okay.
It was an overall glitch I think we all know.
Walking to Catfish is an overall glitch I'm not familiar with. I usually fall to Catfish from Death Mountain. I'll have to have Chex teach me that one later. Alright, Orange is setting up a Death Warp here. He doesn't really have to worry about Fake World here because there's nowhere to go from Pod. There's no consequence to getting Fake World here. It's not going to interrupt his route the same way it did in Skullwoods. Alright.
Well, we're now in Pod, so...
Cheximan does have the bow, by the way. He did pick it up in Kakariko when he was there, so this is all in logic for him as well.
As Professor Pixie said a couple of times, the tracker is hungry for clicks tonight.
Yeah, it is. And you can tell how dizzy this mode is making. Even me, who plays this mode, I didn't even notice he didn't have it on his tracker.
You know, I didn't either. But this is a game mode where it's easy to get lost by the look of it.
Yeah.
So shout-outs to Malmo for being the knowledgeable one in this commentary booth.
And shout-outs to Dungeons for giving me a rest. I can stop talking when we're in a dungeon, because everybody's seen Pod. This is Pod, by the way.
Pod is the same old key logic as ever. It doesn't make sense.
Yep, same key logic, same everything. Even the entry logic is the same. Because there's really no glitches needed to get in. We even have the lamp. Boring.
Yeah, the most interesting part about this is Chex is doing without a sword.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He won't be able to do a spin speed hammer, which is a little trick you can do to extend your hammer hitbox north, making it a little bit easier to hit Helmasaur. If I was Orange, I'd probably be arming that when I get to Helmasaur. But he might decide to just shoot him with arrows instead. And even if we did have Dark Turtles, we had them dropping hearts, super free.
This is the freest Palace Darks clear ever. Well, we have our good friend, the Helmasaur King.
Orange has accidentally mapped, making sure he is in fact in Pod and not somewhere else. He did not arm Spin Speed Hammer. He was just holding his sword out to extend the hitbox. Realized he doesn't actually need to do that, and is just going to wail on Helmasaur here. Okay.
One of my favorite parts of the trick.
He's doing Spin Speed Hammer now. I saw him. Although with that doesn't look like he actually got the spin speed. Yeah, he didn't.
One of my favorite parts of Helmasaur. If he has fireballs out when you break the mask, they despawn. It's super useful.
Yeah, if you time that last hit just right, that's a sword. That's going to be Chex's first sword. It's going to be orange sword.
So, we've had our business as usual Palace of Darkness. Let's go back to the glitches, shall we?
Yep. Well, probably Chex's next clear will be Skullwoods. It's a crystal you can do. So I'm guessing, so he went to Pod this way because he had already done the mountain. So there was no reason for him down to Catfish. Oh, Orange is going to walk out of Pod. What is this?
He's going to get flipped back to the light world, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Orange.
Which means he can then go back.
He's
Which
Going
means
to
he can
Eastern
go
Palace. Oh, cool.
That's genius.
Okay, that saves like 1 second, but it looks really cool. He knows he's in Fake Dark World. He went down to that Flute 5 portal to correct his world so he can clip to Eastern. It's just a little shortcut here. He doesn't have the mirror, so this is his.
Orange is showing off for chat.
He is showing off. You can get to Eastern from Link's house using the same clip. It's not really any slower. I think SP on timed and it's like 1 second faster to do what Orange did if you have good movement through the maze. The movement from Link's house is easier though. So you're doing this, you're showing off.
Well, we did kind of call it an exhibition match in
Yeah,
Racer when we realized these two runners were the restream.
Chex is doing a little route through pod. When you don't have the mirror, you want to so that you can get back to Helmelstore easily without death warping.
Plus, it's fun to hammer yelp.
Yeah, it is fun. You have to show off your NNG skills.
What are those? I don't have any of those.
What are those? Those are boots.
We start with those. All right, let's go. Let me rewind all the way back to the beginning. We start with boots. If people didn't notice that.
So the reason we start with boots is because the glitches, while possible to do with one-frame clips, are first of all not in logic that way, and second of all, very slow. Even if you're good at them, it's slow. So the person who finds the boots first usually wins. So we just give everybody boots from the start. We've been doing this long before it was cool to start with boots. Back in 2018, we used to say, oh, you get to start with boots. This is why you should play overworld glitches. And now we have to actually argue the merits of the mode because you can start with boots whenever you want now. Boo.
So, once again, we're back in dungeon. So, on the top of glitches, is it often done with key sanity?
It can be. There isn't actually a preset for overworld glitches key sanity, but you can generate it on the site just by changing 2 toggles. Just change the logic toggle to overworld glitches, change the toggle for key sanity. It's just key sanity. It doesn't interact with overworld glitches in any interesting way.
Chat feels like Orange is ahead, but kind of like me, they don't know with this mode. What's your opinion on this?
So Chex is up by a dungeon, Orange is up by a different dungeon. Because Orange has done Skullwoods, Chex has done Desert. I do think that Orange is a little ahead having done Skullwoods, but he is also kind of... It's too close to tell. There's a lot of world left. There's a lot of...
The big advantage I see for Orange actually is combat advantage right now. 3 swords to 1.
Yeah.
And 3 swords is nothing to sneeze at when you're clearing dungeons.
Well, yeah, so Chex will probably just go to Skullwoods next because it's a crystal he can clear. But I might be wrong. Maybe he goes to Ganon's Tower instead because it's a lot of checks in there. I'm going to be saying that a lot.
So you're saying he goes where the checks is?
See, Orange follows the checks.
Actually, right now, for a minute, it looked like checks followed the Orange.
Okay, Orange is following the 1 hour rule. Let me explain what the 1 hour rule is. We haven't seen the uncle yet. And you can go a really long time without checking the uncle. If you don't set a rule that says, okay, by the hour mark, I should have checked uncle by now, you'll just never go there. So he's getting this out of the way because sometimes the mirror is just here and you're never going to route it in with anything else. The reason I mentioned the mirror is because usually you wait for a mirror to do this. Mirror can be your access to the escape from either defeating Aghanim 2 or from clipping to Pyramid Fairy.
I imagine we need the mirror for 2 reasons. That's why we did Eastern with green pendant and we could loop it in with Saha.
That makes sense.
I imagine we need mirror for 2 reasons. One, if clipping into, as you said, Pyramid Fairy. And you said there was another thing we do with the mirror?
Yeah, like if you have defeated Aghanim 2, because you can just mirror straight to the escape and do it there.
And then We have Swamp Palace to do.
Yeah, we have quite a few items to get before Swamp. So we are going to need the mirror eventually. All the things that are required for Swamp and no glitches are also required in Overworld glitches. Because it is just a dungeon that requires a lot of stuff. And this is not Underworld glitches, this is Overworld glitches. We don't get to skip anything for Swamp. Alright, Orange is going to Ganon's Tower. He has the hook shot. I missed where hook shot was. Was that Green Pendant? Green Pendant was the bottle.
Armos Knights.
Armos Knights. Green Pendant Armos. Okay, Orange is definitely ahead now, but it's not insurmountable. Eastern is a very tempting dungeon for Chex, who hasn't done Saha yet either. The hook shot will allow him to do this much quicker, but nothing's stopping Chex from doing this without the hook shot. He can hover. He's already shown us that. There's a bunch of bomb jumps you can do in here as well.
Yeah, I've actually taught myself bomb jumps just because I like to break logic where I can.
Chex is remembering he has a fairy. Very good.
Good memory.
I saw him pick that up earlier. Yeah, the tracker software is being a little hungry today, so they do have bottles, both of them. Orange also found a shovel in the back of Saha's closet. Just found a third bottle up here as well. Neither of them has checked Sick Kid yet that I'm aware of.
Well, I don't think either has, because Chex went straight from Hype Cave where he found the bottle, I believe.
There's another bottle.
There's all our bottle percent.
It's all our bottles.
Chex went from Hype Cave where he found the bottle up to the catfish, clipped down to Pod, and then went to Link's house.
Mm-hmm. Well, so one thing that's probably driving Chex to the escape as well is he doesn't have a glove yet. This is currently his only access to the back of escape, which is, 3 items.
Yeah, it's 40 minutes, we don't have any gloves, and somebody's in Ganon's Tower. This seems normal.
That is Quake in Ganon's Tower for Orange. We haven't seen the Meyer medallion yet, so we don't know if that's required. The TR medallion we don't care about because we can clip in. It's also a pendant.
Let me guess. Clipping TR, there are several ways, aren't there?
Several.
If it comes down to it, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yep, if our runners are lucky, we won't be seeing it at all because it is a pendant. And speaking of Turtle Rock, that is an ice rod in Random Room. With no Cane of Samaria, it doesn't mean anything yet. Orange is really hoping that he just doesn't find the cane for a while because he doesn't want to clear TR. However, because you can clip in several different ways, kind of like an inverted, you don't necessarily need the cane to check some of the chests. You can clip in the middle and check those that are accessible just by walking around from the middle bridge. Alright, Chex is going down the mountain again. He is arming spin speed here. So I never really explained spin speed clips, but when you have spin speed armed, it kind of messes with your interaction with collision. Most notably these diagonal walls, which already have shoddy collision as it is. Interacting with that glitch state that you're in, you just walk right through them. It's actually amazing people don't do it by accident more often. Alright, he's not going to turn his nose up at that Master Sword.
Can you blame him?
No. It's required. You need a Master Sword to beat the game. He doesn't know where the other swords are. Alright, he's got to spin. Orange is at Ice Armos.
And it looks like Chex is going to be visiting the Skull Woods.
So I missed if Orange picked up the big key here, but he is saving his arrows. He has 4. He needs 8 for the climb. Using those sword beams to great effect. One of the faster ways to kill Armos when you're not using arrows is sword beams. Chex is demonstrating some good game knowledge using that boomerang to stun the Gibdos.
I didn't even know Boomerang stunned Gibdos, and I play this game. And we now have Tempered Sword.
Alright, Orange is going to activate his flute. He did go out of his way to pick it up. I don't think Chex did.
Chex skipped the flute, instead opting to clip. Took the rather than take time, he still has to clip over to Eastern Death Mountain. Activate the flute to go turn into mushroom. That's reasonable. Only a big 20 at the potion shop, as Chex Human faces Mothula. Conveniently, Chex Human did not die in the en route to Mothula, so is not in a fake dark world. So Chex will get to continue on with his route. Orange checking Magic Bat.
Muted. I'm sorry.
Not a problem. Luckily, you muted when they're not doing glitches.
Yeah, they're in dungeons. It's boring. I can mute myself. Chex had a really good Mothula there.
That was a beautiful Mothula. So
that was definitely practiced. He is not just an accomplished overworld glitches runner, he is also a speedrunner. If you haven't seen his glitch speed runs, they will make you even dizzier than this will, because he is pulling out all the stops in those runs. Alright, Orange is also doing a nice backup. He almost got stuck there, but held up. He is also doing some kind of clip. Since he's already been to GT, he's probably just going to super jump off the mountain like Chex did.
Looks like the same trick as Chex enters the Pendant Thieves Town.
Yeah, the only things he can really do from here, with a screen wrap camera like this, is to go to Ganon's Tower or to super jump. He is on the wrong pixel for it. He needs to save and quit here. Yeah, he is. He's actually done. Oh, this is interesting. That's actually if he knew, he could actually go to Hammer Pigs from there. He accidentally got himself in a fake flipper state there. Putting him in the river moat near Pyramid, you can actually get to Hammer Pigs from there. It's a trick that I know how to do and have never actually been able to do in a race, but he could have done Hammer Pigs. Kind of interesting to note. That was not what he intended to do. He was trying to drop down.
Even the veterans can make a mistake with the inputs.
Yeah, so the thing that went wrong for him is he was a little bit too left there. There's kind of 4 little, like, staircase-like bits of collision. You want to line yourself in the second stair. Let's see if he gets it right this time. Yeah, he's going too far to the left. He doesn't remember how to super jump. Yeah, you can see that Hammer Pigs there. That's actually real. It is a little bit graphically off, but...
Given the number of times he screen-wrapped, it does line up that he'd end up at the Hammer Pegs, just from my knowledge of the game map.
Yeah, he's traveled down the world, and when he transitions, the game puts him where it thinks he should be. I think he is just going to do a normal Death Mountain descent. He's correcting his camera at Tower of Hera, so he can jump down the mountain normally. And I say normally, like jumping down the mountain is just a thing you do.
Well, it's OWG. From my knowledge, that's normal.
Orange, please. You don't have a glove. Thank you. I'm glad you remember. That's a very, very sad time when you get all the way to the back.
I've made that mistake when I've gotten up here in non-glitched logic by flute.
Yeah, Chex remembers he doesn't have a glove. He's doing the kill room in Thieves Town. Something you don't see very often.
You know, I don't see that one very often. I forget that there's a door there. What's funny is there's the occasional time I've seen it happen in non-glitch logic. So
Yep. Agassides, inverted, very common.
yeah, that'd be where I see it. I play inverted. So I've not been counting items.
He's doing. Oh, it's a peanut Samaria.
Important.
Well, Orange is going to do it too. Let's see if it goes all the way. He probably will because he has very little left to do in the world. He's already followed the hookshot to everything except Hookshot Cave, which is probably going to haunt him a little bit. He wasn't able to pull off that hover earlier.
Honestly,
I think he'd rather it be here than Hookshot Cave, so he's just going to check the whole thing.
at the moment, I think Orange won't be as happy to see that Cane of Samaria.
Well, yeah, so he can do Pendant TR now. But he can also do more Ganon's Tower, and most importantly, he needs that cane to do Mire. If he gets down to Mire and sees the medallion is either
very nice blind fight.
Orange does have Quake, by the way. If he goes down there and it's either or Quake, then he will be able to do all of Mire in one go.
Very nice blind fight from Shax.
Yeah. It was a pendant, but also there was progression in here, so everybody's at some point. Unless Kane in Zergo mode. So these runners are actually kind of, I wouldn't say neck and neck. Orange has a little bit on Chex here. He has already done Eastern, gone that hook shot. Chex has not done that yet.
So
I give the advantage to Orange still because he has chosen to go back here. He's going to be getting the cane.
To my knowledge, we're basically missing Mir and Flippers at this point.
We need a glove. So we need a glove for Ice Palace.
Oh, we need a glove for... Oh yeah, there's a block on top of Cold Stare.
It is actually possible to get a seed where Ice Palace is a pendant and you never need a glove. Because most of the things that would normally require a glove can just be clipped around. The only things that really require a glove are Spike Cave, Ice Palace, and Checkboard Cave, and sometimes the back of Escape, depending on key layout.
We only say one glove. I'm guessing there's a clip to get into Ice Palace now.
Oh, there's a lot. There's three that aren't stupid, and then there's also a bottle glitch you can do that is stupid. Oh, you don't really see that in overall glitches. It's not in logic.
Okay.
It's interesting to know
Orange
that
tries to pick up the block.
Yep. It's again forgetting he doesn't have a glove.
Easy
So
to do.
easy. You've gone through so much of the seed. You think surely I've picked up a glove by now. Chex
Like I said earlier, we were in GT with no gloves.
Chex hopped a couple too many times. He's actually doing a downward teleport here, which does a little weird bounce because the collision here is weird. He's going to be giving us that Mire check. Let's see what it is. It is Bombos. Of course it is. It's always the one you don't have. Chex doesn't have Quake either, but Orange does, so he's going to be very disappointed to see that. It's interesting to know that Ice Palace is not actually accessible right now through the 3 methods that you normally use to get in. I'll explain what those methods are now that they're just in dungeons. One of them is
We don't know where Chex is yet.
I don't know where Chex is going. This scares me. He's probably going to GT. Yeah, he's going to GT. I can't imagine him going anywhere else from here. So we already saw GT. Not worried about that. He's going to be doing bomb jumps to get across because he doesn't have the hook shot yet. Okay, so getting into Ice Palace, you can just get there with the mitts as usual, but there's also something called mirror wrap, which is an out-of-logic way to get in, where you hit a mirror on a screen transition, and you do that weird wrapping thing that you saw with Zora DMA, that kind of moves you over an extra half a screen, putting you at the entrance of Ice Palace. And then there's another in-logic wrap that you can do that requires the flippers because it puts you in water at some point. So their logical access to ice is either going to be the flippers.
If I may, we actually are seeing the one advantage Chex has GT here.
He has the cane, yeah. So he will get to single dip this because he can hover, which is very interesting. He's going to have a slower GT, but it's going to be a single dip. He is checking tile room here. If you do left side first, you can usually figure out if tile room is the key or not, but he's not doing left side first because it is out of logic. He probably just expects to find a hook shot here. Having already found 2 keys, the hook shot actually can be there if there's another key here. There's a key upstairs. Usually that's not going to happen because the right side and the left side tend to lock each other out with the key logic. So like there can be a key on the hookshot lock side, locking you out of the right side logically. It's very complicated, hard to learn. One of the hardest things about overworld glitches is learning Ganon's Tower key logic, to be quite honest.
Ganon's Tower key logic is a mess. So, key logic is a mess.
That's a 28 dig game.
Oof.
Thanks to Orange for digging in a square so I don't have to do math. Alright, Big Key was locked by the cane. He is going to go... Interesting, he's going to go to Ice Almost from this direction.
I'm wondering if he might be doing Ice Armos from this direction, in case there's a hook shot there.
Yeah. He demonstrated that you can move through this room without taking damage. It's very easy. It's actually just a script. You just walk down and then walk up and then walk down again. Kind of loads in the obstacles at the correct time so that they don't bother you when you try to go past them.
And suddenly we're back out of Mire. Flutes are unnecessary by the look of it.
Yep. Oh yeah, so kind of glossed over this. Mire is just teleports. It's very easy. You just teleport in, teleport out. It does load in the rain weird, which I should have warned you about, but a lot was going on. The rain gets kind of weird and flashy and glitchy because the game...
It was a weird plaid texture, wasn't it?
Yeah, it expects you to get there from a mirror transition, so when you get there from an overworld screen transition, it just doesn't load in correctly.
At the moment, it's looking like Chex may last locate that hook shot.
Huh. Well, you say that, but there's a lot of stuff left for him. Ganon's Tower, of course, I'll give him the Ice Rod. He'll know that the Ice Rod is hookshot locked, so he'll know it won't be Trinex, but there's still the rest of Turtle Rock to deal with. He's also probably going to climb Tower because he can hover. That's going to give us some new checks. Orange is descending the mountain again. He is attempting super jump again? Trying to figure out why, though.
He's
taking the cane. Yeah, he's taking the cane to GT.
He's probably taking the cane to...
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing here. He's going to climb. He has everything. We might get to see simultaneous GT climbs from our runners.
It makes sense to... Because I didn't think he'd have done the super jump because that puts you down at South Dark World, and he saved and quit out of Hype Cave.
Yeah, he was just there. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. I'm interested in the timing of this. I think Chex will reach the climb first because Orange still has to get the big chest after this. Oh, he also has to do Tile Room. He has 3 keys. Tile Room's not necessarily a key, so he does have to check this.
It was 3 bombs, we know.
Yeah. When you're going through GT, you count small keys. And I know Orange knows the logic well enough to skip Tile Room when he knows it's a key. He knows it's not a key, or he knows that it doesn't have to be a key, so he's checking it. Chex is doing the bomb jump to get across here. He's going to get his Quake, which doesn't do anything. He's going to be our first climbing the tower. But Orange has the hook shot, so he might be the first across Moldorm if Chex has trouble hovering. It's very close between them. It's really just that big chest difference. And also the fact that Orange has hook shot and Chex doesn't, putting Orange probably in the lead overall.
I do thank you for telling us who we think is in the lead, because, if this were a non-glitched race, it's usually pretty simple to tell who's got a lead. But the general group of us here in the chat and myself here in the booth, we have no clue.
This is very close between them because Chex actually couldn't mirror out and have them, so he had to walk out of the big chest anyway. Orange is going to walk out of the big chest and grab it on the way. This is
which explains partly why we didn't see Chex go back from right side. We don't have the mirror to get back there easily, so might as well dip through since you're locked by the warp anyways. Don't miss that arrow, Chex.
All right, he's going to have to grab the pot here and hope that it doesn't despawn. It did not, so he's good. Don't miss your arrows, because mimic clipping here is really hard to do. Clip these. He knows how to mimic clip, but you can see these BMOs are bullying him. If you clip the first mimics out, they actually remain on screen, overloading the sprites so that the BMOs in this room can't kill you. They can't actually fire at all. Wow, look at Orange also with 0 arrows. Chex has 1 arrow. So Chex clearly has the advantage. He has the single arrow advantage.
It's because the reason he has the advantage is because he just did random room and the single arrow was in there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that explains it. All right, so we have a lead change here, possibly, with Chex having to go to safety room, Orange not having to. I say lead change, but Orange is still ahead having that hook shot. It's just fun to pretend that they're at the end of the game and going to GT. We can role play that for a little bit.
But the GT climb. I'd like to point out, we are an hour in. We're climbing Ganon's tower. We still don't have a glove.
No glove. Orange still hasn't. I think Orange still hasn't even done the uncle yet.
I just like to point out now because it's the funniest scenario here.
We're visiting Aghanim 2 before we're visiting the uncle on Orange's side. That is funny. Ooh, Orange. Does he still have that fairy? I think he does. I don't think he got the.
Yes, because he just picked it up from Hype Cave.
Makes sense. Oh, he's got that powder ready. He's going to get a synced land mollusk, which makes sense on this equipment anyway. He's going to be doing mostly slashes and spins.
That fire spitter is the worst part of this fight.
It is.
Depending on if you're playing Randomizer, and fire spitter is either a nuisance or can't fire at all because too many sprites.
Alright, Chex missed the quick kill on the Wizrobes. Got it the second time though. You should probably get the magic.
Well, that's a field mag. We just switched super tile.
Yep, he can't go back.
But that
he has a lamp out. He'll be fine.
That's a field ad. You get the full magic drop at that magic, and then.
Yeah, Orange saw the magic. I think Chex saw it in slow motion and knew it was too late.
Yeah, that is what you call the I wanted that.
Now he has to get the magic here, wait out the jingle glitch so he doesn't despawn the tower.
Yeah, despawning tower here would be bad just because you'd have to re-glitch back up to the tower at this point.
So what do you think they do next?
Hey, our first glove on top of Ganon's tower.
Lovely. Glove does very little right now. I think Orange will be tempted to go to back of escape first because he hasn't done it yet. But for Chex, all it really opens up is Spike Cave and Checkerboard Cave. I think actually Turtle Rock is the most tempting play for Orange.
You asked what I think they'll do? The answer is I have no idea.
Yeah, so one thing they can do from here, because it's really the only place they can go from the
Ooh,
tower.
nice cover on the mold worm.
Yeah, that is very nice. Didn't even miss a beat. Both of them may clip to hammer pegs. As I was mentioning earlier, that doesn't require mitts. You could just clip there a couple different ways. There's actually like 3 different ways to get to hammer pegs without mitts.
How good were you at geometry?
Very bad.
So, everyone's favorite class, agonometry.
That's good though. That's a triple.
That's what? I do think that was a triple. So
it's a very nice setup. Both of them will get triples here. This one's a little less good, but oh, you got something.
Very nice.
Very nice. Both of them getting bagged down from different angles, which is kind of interesting, making it look like they had different fights. Look at that sink there. Let's see if they both go to hammer pegs. I think one of them hasn't done catfish yet, so they could go in that direction instead. I believe that one of them being... No, I'm wrong. Both of them did catfish.
Yeah, I think both of them did catfish.
Pod.
I just can't remember Chex had to have gone up to catfish because he was already 80% of the way up to it. So
yeah, he did catfish into pod. Both of them did. They're going to hammer pegs. They're going to clip into the water here. It puts you on the screen transition, setting up for a free fake flipper. You swim across this moat, the longest waterway in the game. You think Phelps Room and Swamp is bad. This is much worse. Orange has lost his free lineup, so he has to clip in manually. It's going to be a little slower for him. I would just screen transition and do it again if I was him. You can also boots clip through it. Not that hard. Yeah, you should just boots clip Orange. No, don't save him quit. I think he's trying to buffer the diagonal. Yeah, Orange, just try.
Hey, a sword!
Another thing Orange can do here is he can hold his sword out so that he is strafing with hook speed instead of moving freely. Strafing makes this clip much easier. Okay, he's going to do the boots clip. He's going to get his butter sword.
That is a long waterway. I'm glad that you can only get there by clipping through.
It's actually interesting. You can see the time difference. How much time you can gain or lose by just having good glitches. Most of your advantage is going to come from NMG execution, but there are moments like this where you gain a lot of time from doing a glitch cleanly. All right, Chex is going to Eastern. He's going to catch up to Orange here, getting his hook shot.
And you just don't turn down the free butter sword.
Yeah, I still think Turtle Rock is probably their next play, except for Orange probably doing the escape first, because he hasn't done it yet.
And we're over an hour in.
Yep. Orange knows about the 1 hour rule. He probably should have gone to Dark Cross first, but... Or not Dark Cross, but the back of escape, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just go backwards from Dark Cross. No big deal. Orange is probably not happy to see that red mail. Having no... Might still need to death warp at some point. The most likely place to death warp would be in Turtle Rock to get back to Trinex quickly. Orange does know how to do a clip straight to Laser Bridge that doesn't require the mirror. It's an out of logic clip, but it is the fastest way to full clear TR.
Actually, the bigger problem, the more immediate death warp problem to look at is Orange needs to get out of the Zelda cell.
Oh yeah. Well, Orange is going to save and quit. Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows he has too much health to death. So he saves and quits out of Zelda's cell, does back of escape, and does Dark Cross from there.
You hope you get the key here. I don't remember if key was here or in... Okay, there's the key.
It was here. We know it's here because Chex went all the way to the back.
I couldn't remember if it was in map chest or in the Dark Cross was a big thing.
Well, if it's in the Dark Cross, that's good, and then you can skip Dark Cross.
Oh, true.
I do
you
remember
don't have to pick up the key if you know it's there.
I think I saw him actually pick up the heart piece in Dark Cross. Or something like it. Some kind of junk. Alright, so while we're retracing each other's steps, please give our runners a follow. They're putting on a good show. They're no strangers to putting on good shows. Both of them very experienced in this mode and in speedruns. Also, follow our tracker, Professor Pixie, who is probably still dizzy from all the route changes that happen so suddenly. And then follow my co-commentator, Zeke Highwind.
Yeah. Please follow Malmo as well.
Orange,
She's
what are you doing?
very knowledgeable.
Orange is gonna die. Orange, just save and quit. Do backup escape.
I mean, at least these guards do a set half heart of damage. Otherwise, it's taking all night.
Your meal doesn't matter here. I think he already ditched his fairy at some point. So he'll be good to Death Warp here. Yeah, that's...
Especially give a follow to our tracker, who it's practically twice as hard to figure out what's going on in the seat as a normal tracking job. So, and Professor Pixie's doing admirably here.
Mm-hmm. And this isn't her first rodeo. She did track the first overall glitches race this year. Well, it wasn't really this year, but the last month I think we did 2 races with Assured Sword, matching tournament settings. I actually haven't mentioned the tournament yet. The reason that you're seeing so much overall glitches on speed gaming right now, it's not just because I'm nagging Mind of Me to put it on the dock, but also because we are running a tournament. This is the Overall Glitches Mentor Tournament, sponsored by Go Mode Podcast. What we have done is we've taken a bunch of runners from varying experience levels. People brand new, people very experienced, both alike, deciding to learn this new mode. During the first stage of the tournament, we've paired them up with mentors who know how to play the mode, guiding them through races as they race each other. This month, we have actually graduated them into brackets where they are racing by themselves. So keep an eye out for that as well. These runners are mentors. They are not runners in the tournament. The last races we had, we did feature runners in the tournament.
Oh, hey. How did we pick up the rocks there?
Okay, let me explain King's Tomb Clip. This is actually a Sphere 1 location. What happens is you clip down just like you do to Graveyard Ledge. You move up a little bit and then you dash across, and it puts you exactly halfway between the black rock and the bush. The game thinks because you're standing on a bush that you should be able to pick up the thing under you, so it picks up the rock.
Oh, hey, Orange is back at Hookshot Cave.
Yep. He's probably going to go to Turtle Rock next. You might be seeing a really cool clip from him called Mirrorless Turtle Rock Laser Bridge clip. It's not in logic, but it's very cool. It is in logic for him to go to Laser Bridge from the middle. He has the lamp and the cane, so he has full access to the back of Turtle Rock, full access to Trinex. All right, this is cool. So he's going to clip up here first through a teleport. He's going to do a little thing where that's a mirror and checkerboard cave. Something you only see in Overall Glitches and Inverted. All right. So he wraps his screen here. He actually messed up here. That's unfortunate. He was supposed to hop down and not diagonal, putting him on the other side of a transition where you can hit it from the wrong side and cross to Laser Bridge. Chex picks up the mirror. He's going to be showing us a different route to Laser Bridge if we decide. I think Orange has very little left to do, so he's probably going to just try again. We'll get to see that clip again. If not
Hopefully
that,
successful.
then yeah, he might also just go into the middle if he doesn't feel confident doing the clip. I'm surprised Orange doesn't actually do Checkerboard Cave because he hasn't done Lammo yet. And Checkerboard Cave into Lammo is a kind of very efficient way to route in the kind of dangling checks he has. He still has the shovel, I believe, to check, and he has that glove locked location that he just got access to. So Vern is asking if Myth's Bombos for Go mode. Yes, we do need bombos for Meyer. Bombos is the medallion for Meyer. Mitts are not required. We will be needing flippers for Swamp Palace. We can also use the flippers in the mirror to glitch into Ice Palace, so we don't need the mitts for that. All right, so Orange went through the middle of Turtle Rock. This is the logical way to... he just did a very simple spin speed flip. One of the easiest glitches he can learn. All right, he's doing a key steal here. What he's doing is he's protecting himself from locking himself out of the front. If he locks himself out of the front, he might put himself in a situation where the medallion is required to enter TR. And because he doesn't have all the medallions, he doesn't want to have to do that. Now, Chex is setting up to leave Spike Cave. I think I'm trying to figure out where he would be going from here.
Probably Turtle Rock.
Yeah, but Turtle Rock isn't really near Spike Cave because he's going to drop down and be at the bottom of the mountain. He has the mirror, but I don't think... Oh, he's going to Pyramid Fairy. Okay, so Pyramid Fairy clip. Every time he climbs the mountain and drops down without correcting his camera, his map position moves down. So where he appears on the map is going to move. That also determines where his mirror portal goes. So he just dropped a mirror portal. The game actually put that portal at Hyrule Castle because of how far he went. So now he can death warp here to save that portal. And he can walk to that portal from Link's house, enter it, and he placed it in such a way that entering that portal will put him in Pyramid Fairy.
That's exciting. I think I've seen this exact clip in a glitch speedrun somewhere before.
Yeah, in glitch speedruns, we call this early silver because you get the silver arrows here. Silvers are not required, but because you can get them early, you can actually gain back the time it takes to get them and only lose about 15 seconds. They provide a really good deal of safety. Oh, wow.
Hey, silvers!
Speaking of early silvers.
Not every day, vanilla silvers.
All right. That was a required Pyramid Fairy. The flippers can be locking the mirror in Ice Palace. Chex has the mirror, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But if Orange... Oh, I'm totally mixing things up. He used the mirror to get here. What am I saying? If Orange finds Bombos first, he can actually get to Pyramid Fairy the traditional way and find that, but that's probably not going to happen. Nobody likes to do Big Bomb in overworld glitches.
We barely like to do Big Bomb in glitchless.
So yeah, Chex is setting up a mirror bonk to turn in the mushroom a little bit faster. He's buying a green potion to refill his magic that he used up in Spike Cave. He might pick up some blues as well. The blue potions are a little bit for safety, but mostly they're for opportunistic fake flutes. Hopefully we get to see at least one fake flute. What a fake flute is you drink that potion on a screen transition in the overworld, and it will trick the game into opening the flute menu instead of drinking the potion, because the game can't do two things at once, and it just adds some numbers together and does something different in the memory. Where is he going? Oh my god, he's doing a speedrun strat I've never seen before. I think he does this in low percent all dungeons. Oh, he messed up.
Yeah, as I say, he probably messed up by the save quit.
Yeah,
where was he going?
I don't know. I've only seen him do this in the low percent all dungeon speedrun, which he's been doing lately. I don't remember what it's for.
Probably. Could have been a Swamp Palace access.
Yeah, he might have been kind of quickly going to Swamp. If I was him, I would have just fake fluted to Swamp, because it does bring up the flute menu. One of those things is the, flute 7. So you can just flute to 7 in the Dark World. Because I didn't mention this, but you can fake flute in the Dark World and use the flute in the Dark World that way.
That's disgustingly convenient.
Oh, it's super nice. So usually if I'm at the potion shop, I'll just pick up a woo potion if I can afford it. because the time it takes me to buy the blue potion will be gained if I can use it for a fake flute.
And down goes Pendant Trinex.
I feel bad for Orange. I haven't been paying attention to it, but I don't see Bombos on its tracker. That's the only thing you could possibly...
Yeah, Orange has been doing dungeons. It's hard to pay attention when Chex is showing off on the left.
Yeah, he's doing a lot. Well, now Chex is doing dungeons. This is going to be a pretty normal Swamp Palace for him. He's probably going to route it like he's one item from Go mode, because he is. So, he'll get this check. He's probably not going to do left side his first trip through. Just hoping that Bombos is here and not in Turtle Rock.
Oh, right. That's a problem for Orange. He was kind of stuck in the turtle head because he has no mirror.
Yep, no mirror. Turtle head is interesting. That is Vanilla Bean stuck there. You can kind of push your way back into Turtle Rock from there, but you can't get out of it. It's kind of the opposite of the behavior they coded into Entrance Rando, where it just spits you out and then you can't go back in. In this one, it spits you out and you can go back in, but you can't go out. Orange is doing Orange is doing his first Graveyard Ledge. This is also a Sphere 1 location, so it's probably haunting him a little bit.
If he found the mirror here, it would be super bad, but we know where that is.
Now, if he finds Bombos... So, once again, I think actually Chex has the lead now. Having found the mirror, gotten to the
the mirror's in an awkward location for Orange.
The only thing that that can really save Orange is if he's going to possibly do... Where is he going?
Pedestal.
Is he checking? Oh,
he has all three pendants.
Okay, well, if Bombos is here, Orange is ahead. If Bombos... do it for chat, though. He knows he's on stream.
All right, chat. It's everyone's favorite moment. We are blind pulling Pedestal. Because we know where the book is, we don't want it.
Right, the book. That's in Logic. Oh gosh, what if it's on a tablet? That's worse than Ped. At least in this one you had to do Eastern.
So, yeah, nothing on Pedestal, unfortunately, but you have the pendants, you might as well check it.
Yeah, you had two of the pendants had progression in them, so it's not the worst play. Turtle Rock was a huge waste of time for Orange, but if Bombos is somewhere really awful, like on a tablet, Chex is going to do that as well. It's not going to lose him much time.
If it's on a tablet, our runners are going to hard last locate on this.
Absolutely, there's no way you don't last location that. Shovel we have, Chex has already dug up the junk item that's here, but Orange will be going to Checkerboard Cave next and getting that mirror. And then he'll fight Lambo because he hasn't done that yet. This is a very convenient time to route in. Lambo is when you have something you can pair it with, which is like the fetch quest you normally orphan here by going here early.
It's also worth noting that Chex has been contrary to what we think once again.
Hey, he's full clearing swamp. What's he doing? Chex, you're one item from Go mode. Doing. Chex has logical access to Ice Palace as well, so I'm very surprised that he's doing this. He might be leaning on his advantage, knowing that Checkerboard Cave is kind of a bad location for the mirror. Because usually you want to like mirror to it when you're at Mire. So most people will think, okay, I find Bombos, I find mirror, and then I mirror to here and find my flipper or something. Yeah, I guess he's going for density. Because his other options are things like tablet, and he doesn't want to do those.
I bet that mirror tells Orange at this point to go to Pyramid Fairy, I believe.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't do much else without the flippers. I think it actually does nothing else besides make certain things convenient. I'm wondering, is this the last location for Orange besides the Bomb tablet and Ether tablet? I think maybe
basically.
He hasn't done Spike Cave yet. I'll do that with Pyramid Fairy, like Chex did.
So on the topic of that Pyramid Fairy mirror placement. Can you flute to Link's house?
Yeah, and Orange will do that because that's the fastest way to get there. Chex does not. And the advantage to flute is also you don't need to correct your camera to do. You do need to correct your camera to death warp off of the girls or to descend the mountain, which is the other way to get there. You can descend the mountain and that arms Houlihan because you've messed up your camera. And then you can drop into any of the holes that are near Graveyard Ledge, which will take you to Link's house quickly. It's a very common early money play. As I was saying, you go up the mountain and you go straight down the mountain again to do Checkerboard Cave and get bombs. That'll also put you in Houlihan. Okay, Chex is doing a mirror wrap. I explained this earlier. Is you use the mirror port, you use the mirror on the transition, and it puts you on the other side of the transition without actually transitioning you. I think he's too low here though. I'm a little worried. Nope, he's good. Okay. You walk up. You can see that the screen was a little bit torn there. If you touch that torn screen, you hard lock. So you have to be very careful doing this. If you transition too low, you'll soft lock. He knew that he was a little low, so he tapped down to get himself unstuck. Moving a little bit low after having already cleared swamp, that's the safe way to do it so he doesn't lose progress. Soft lock, you just save and quit, no big deal. Hard lock, you lose Swamp Palace, and that would be very bad for him.
I see. They do tricks. I see pretty colors, and we end up in Ice Palace.
Yep.
At this point, Orange is doing the same clip the same mirror trick that Chex did earlier to get his Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. So I'll just dash into this portal, which is gonna put him right inside the entrance. We'll enter on the first frame. You could actually do this without the Moon Pearl too, and entering on the first frame there does put you in Super Bunny, which does open this up as a Moon Pearl location. All right, he's getting his early silvers. It's also a vanilla bottle refill. That's actually good because he can refill his magic from Spike Cave. He's probably just going to walk to Swamp from here.
And then, on the dungeon side of things, Chex went with everyone's favorite trick for Ice Palace.
Yeah, very good icebreaker. Very practiced at it.
It's such a useful trick.
I didn't watch him, but I know he's good at that.
No, neither did I.
Somebody was in chat was saying he got it first try, which doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I wasn't watching either, I will admit.
We're just
I'm watching whoever's in the overworld at the moment.
We're just in Sphere 1 still.
Based on what I've heard from you talking about in the OWG MT chat, the Sphere 1 is absolutely gigantic.
Yeah, actually, I think Orange pinned a screenshot of a tracker showing what's in Sphere 1, which is like a lot. It's like 60 checks or something. And then also what is in just the Moon Pearl. Like, you get the Moon Pearl, what does that open up? It's a lot of checks. It's like another 60 checks.
It's worth noting, for those who don't realize how big that is, there are 216 checks in the game.
Yeah, that's like half of them right there.
Over a quarter of your checks in the game are open to you from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, so a consequence of that is you do get a mode because of how many different ways you can route. Sometimes you get these big group races together. Everybody talks at the end, and it sounds like they all played different seeds because they just had such different paths through the seed. Oh, please don't miss this one. Thank you. I almost missed the hook clip.
Yeah, missing the block clip is unfortunate.
I've never actually seen somebody miss both of them, but missing the first one is a little scary.
It's even worse if you miss it at this point because you've done the crystal switch up top, and so you can't get back there easily.
Yeah, you just kind of don't do the big chest if that happens.
You pray it's not your third item.
No, there are worse things you can do in that room. There's a pretty famous clip going around of another runner who was demonstrating to his chat what happens. How do you do that? But he did it in such a way that he trapped himself inside there and forced himself to mirror out. Because apparently if you hook clip through there twice, you'll go into the middle between the blocks and you can't leave. Also, a lot of new players will think, oh, I can mirror block erase these. Well,
yep.
Yeah, you can sure do that. Orange, that's not faster. Don't hammer dash that room.
Orange is showing us. Orange likes swag strats.
Yeah, that is pure swag. You actually go slower doing that. If you really want to be a try-hard speedrunner, you grab that rail there to shield while the water's flooding. Saves a few frames from the lag. But Orange is not about that right now. He's going to show off. He's on restream. All right, Chex is going to TR.
Small point to note.
Yep.
We don't have bombos.
Nope. Chex is going to TR. It's the next big dense location for him. He's going to do a mirror wrap here. It's something we haven't seen yet. The mirror wrap to Turtle Rock. Very similar to Ice Palace. It's a little bit safer and a little bit easier because there's no hard lock. You just kind of walk straight back into the transition and then walk.
Oh, and we're suddenly at Laser Bridge.
We're at Laser Bridge.
You just have to bomb the door open first.
But he's going to have a faster TR than Orange did because he's starting at Laser Bridge and he can actually try.
And then you count your items as you're going, and if you don't get if you get 5 items without doing the big chest, you just leave.
Yeah, typically people count keys. Often it's a key in the big chest. But yeah, you can also count items. That might be easier for some people because there are 5 of them. You don't have to keep track of the map and compass.
Yeah.
Or check your menu, which is what I do because I'm a scrub.
Yeah, but what you do is you count your items to make sure.
Yeah.
It's similar to if you run inverted, you count your items here.
Mm-hmm. So Chex has found 2 keys. He does not have to do the safety key steal here because he stole keys from the back of TR.
Let's just do Turtle Rock backwards.
Yeah, chat is calling for the tablets. Tablets are Orange's only hope. He is quite far behind.
Our tracker's calling for tablets.
Oh, that's a tracker. All right. Well,
even better.
That's even better. Did any of them go dwarfs? So the smiths, while accessible without mitts, are not in logic. It requires a certain bottle glitch, kind of similar to the fake flute, that moves collision around on the screen, freeing the smith to grab without the mitts. That is a sequence break. You're only going to do that if you feel really behind in this mode, because it's basically like doing Mirror the Smith. It's just really bad.
At this point, I think our next move, once we're done with these dungeons, is Aghanim.
Oh yeah, the chat is pointing out that Bombo's tablet is vanilla. We've already seen vanilla silver arrows, so who knows what else we'll have. Chex is getting that key. He actually doesn't need it because he left some doors unlocked on the way back here. But he's probably getting out of habit. Sometimes it's easier to just kill the enemy than to think about whether you need the key or not.
I can also see it helping if you're counting keys to pick up the key and use as you're going through to make sure you have the proper key count.
Yeah, when you get back here, so he has 2 keys right now, and I've kind of done this enough to know the keys going to Trinex from this route, then the big chest is also a key. I also missed if big chest is a key or not. I don't think we saw if Orange picked it up. He came from the middle, so he would have been able to use Death Ward. And I kind of missed if he did that or not. Alright, Chex, getting the item.
Alright, it's a key.
I believe that is a key. Alright, so things are evening out a little bit. Another thing that can happen is, I was saying that Mitsless Smith is bad, but it's not as bad as Aghanim. So we might actually see a sequence break of the Smiths if there's any question of whether mitts are just on a tablet. So mitts on a tablet leading to Smith chain would be very sequence breakable. Orange is doing the flippers wrap. I wonder if he is not comfortable with the mirror wrap because you can hard lock. I question this because I've actually seen 2 people hard lock on this wrap as well. If you do this wrong, you can also hardlock. Orange just save and quit because something unusual happens in overworld glitches. You should just save and quit because there's too much risk trying to fix it. You can just make it worse.
And you don't want to hard lock after that progress because you have to mirror. Because the last time we saw Orange save was before getting the flippers out of Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah,
actually he flew to I don't know how far it's been since he saved before that.
Probably since he probably had the mirror fitted and did all that stuff. So yeah, now he's gonna do the mirror route because he feels safe. He has a safety save under his belt. He's gonna teleport because that's one of the ways you can get up here. He's gonna buffer manually to this edge. And then bomb himself, actually. Chex is checking the big chest. It's not a key. Oh no, he's checking Mimic Cave. This makes sense. This is a thing that Orange is not able to do when he...
Right, Mimic Cave.
Orange
it's easy to lose track of what we have and haven't done.
Yeah, Orange has a little bit unusual graphics here. It has to do with the fact that he transitioned a little bit before wrapping. When you transition, sometimes it makes the graphics weird when you didn't wrap. Oh, that's combos. Okay. Well, have a lot left to check, but he is quite a bit behind because he still has to do Ice Palace. Chex only has to do Mire, and then he can fight Ganon.
So... And now... Mire's as simple as ever.
Yeah.
All we have to do is clip over a cliff and get in.
He's probably going to do the bomb clip here. Oh, he's not doing the bomb clip. I'm a little sad. He's going to do something slightly slower than a bomb clip. He's just going to clip through this instead. Get bullied by the flying enemy here.
That Zora will not leave him alone.
Yeah. There you go. Hook clip through that little elbow there.
And then we saw this clip earlier.
Yeah. So, sorry chat, book is dead. No vanilla bombos.
I'm kind of relieved.
Hope Orange. Maybe Orange will go for it. I don't think so, though. I would go for Mitzless Smiths before that. That's just you last location that. Yeah, F to the Smiths.
That's delightful to watch.
Yeah, there's flashing lights again. It's gonna get faster. There you go. If you're playing this game yourself and the flashing lights in Mire are not friendly to you, you can use your map. Using your map will fix the graphics and turn them back into rain.
That's good to know. Alright, and now, at this point, the overall glitch section of this is done for Chex, isn't it?
Yeah, depends on whether he walks out of Mire. He might just walk out of Mire. I'm not actually sure if it's faster to do that versus save and quit.
Well, actually, given most of the locations, you'll probably overall glitch somewhere to get shortcut to the pyramid.
Yeah, I'm just kind of questioning whether it's actually faster to do that versus just save and quit to Link's house and use the portal. He might show off. He's on quite low health. He has a blue potion in his sleeve. He can pop out if he needs to.
Do we have a Godmire?
Nope.
We don't. Alright, so now we wonder where the big key is. My guess is always cutscene chest.
Oh, I think it's worse. I think it's in the map chest. I hate the map chest. It's my least favorite big key location.
It doesn't bother me because half the time I fish room strats for no real reason.
Fish room strats? What are you, a door rando player?
No.
Alright, so that's a nice little heal for Chex. He just powdered that for some reason. I think he hit the wrong button there. I hope he shows us Flute with Spooky, because that's a cool trick too. There is a way to learn.
Big key.
Alright, big key. That's actually one of my favorite places to find a big keys. You can just go straight up here. You don't get screwed over by somebody who can hover.
My favorite is still Spike Room. Mostly because it's one fewer warp transition.
That's true. I don't like Spike Room in general, because it saps all your health, but you usually have to do it anyway. let's see where Orange is going from here. He could be circling the drain, or he could just beeline the Mimic Cave because he doesn't have very much left. Like, nothing is really unlocked by what he found, except Mimic Cave. Oh, he's arming it. Okay, so he threw a Canis Samari block into the void there. That sets an altitude value that arms spooky action here. It's different from the spooky you get from the flute. So he has to fire from the bottom of the screen, hit the anti-fairy there, dash turn up so that he loads in the switch so that the splash damage can actually hit the switch. And then he gets spooky. There's actually a second spooky you can go for too, but he chose not to do it. I think he wanted the magic so he could cape. Wow, that was very fast. That was faster than using silvers.
Yeah, when you have butter and cape, it's actually butter, cape, and boots. It's actually faster to clear it with dashes, I believe.
Apparently, I missed out on a very clean cold stare from Orange as well because I was watching X doing spooky.
You know, I'm not. It's easy to get lost watching Chex do things.
Yeah, well, Orange is very good too. He's often leans on his NMG skills when doing these races and has won quite a few of them.
This seed just kind of rewards you for like every glitch.
Yeah, this is Mimic Cave for Orange. It's the only thing he has left, I think, except for the Bombos tablet and Ether tablet. And Sequence Breaking the Smith, which is a total desperation move that you do because you don't want to do Aghanim.
And we just go straight through.
Yep. It's not the worst thing to return to. It's not as bad as in NG.
So
what's he doing? He's taking a scenic route to Ganon. Is this really faster? He's doing something called River Clip. This is going to take him straight to the Ganon hole. If he lines it up correctly, he won't get Houlihan. Forget what he's doing. I think he forgot how to do this in his... I'm going to try it. Nope, he messed up. Okay, he's probably just going to go there normally.
He's tried to show off for us one more time.
People are putting numbers in chat. We've already done GT. We're going to Ganon. You can guess the number of teleports that Ganon will do for us. I always like to say that Ganon does one teleport the runner does.
That's a lot of teleports this phase.
It is. But, I don't know. Have you ever seen Ganon? He has it in him to do that many teleports.
If people are curious, since Orange was technically our first runner into the tower, the GT Big Key was in check number 21.
Yeah, it was. It was the last one on the right side.
No, hold on. No, he did it. Check number 19.
He did Tile Room, so it might actually be like bigger than that.
Yeah, it was number... No, he did Tile Room, but he did... it was in the top right of Compass Room, and he did the top right around top left like a lot of people tend to.
That was an interesting route that Orange took to get here. Clipping down from above instead of from the right. I think he's fixing his rain. Maybe just to show that you can, because he knows he's on Restream. Very heads up for him. Thanks for doing that, Orange. Showing that you can do that.
He also may have been doing it because he's on Restream for any visually sensitive
Well, he didn't do it
viewers.
the first time. He did it like at the last minute. So maybe he just remembered to. Or maybe he was...
Sounds like your mic muted again. I'll cut you off. We're already in phase 3 on this Ganon fight for checks. A very nice Ganon fight for Chex. So once Chex crosses this 1x3 bridge, you can get your GGs in chat for Chex Human. All right, and Checkshuman has taken first place for our restream, as well as first place for the race time room with an official time of 1:47:09. GG Checkshuman. All right. Okay. Unfortunately, Malmo has lost internet for a minute, so.
I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah.
Luckily, if things had gone wrong, I could probably have handled it from there because we're in the easy part now.
Yeah, the interviews.
But once we'll see if we can get checks in for an interview. Meanwhile, Orange is going through Misery Mire. It was a pretty tame Mire key layout today. So, but yeah, GG to Checkshuman, and it won't be long for Orange to come in behind him.
Yeah, Orange has just got Meyer to wrap up. He did not do the worst case scenario thing of checking tablets or Mitzvah Smiths. So he just has that little extra, having to double dip TR for Bombos. For Bombos.
It was unfortunate, but yeah, that was not a friendly spot.
Yeah, Checks got to that mirror really quickly. So Orange had to do a bunch of stuff without the mirror, making things a little bit slower for him.
And then, yeah, not having the mirror for Mimic Cave was the biggest unfortunate problem.
Yeah, Mimic Cave is so easy to orphan. One of my least favorite locations in the game, because I like to go to TR without the mirror, because I like to flex that mirrorless clip. Fun clip to do. And
a nice fight with Vitreous, showing us that Silver Arrow Vitreous is the hardest boss in this game.
Yeah. It's the reason, one of the reasons you do get early silvers in the speedrun, if you want to, is because you gain up so much time back, just having silvers for Vitreous, having silvers for Helmosaur, Lamolus, and so on. You only end up losing about 15 seconds. So we're trying to figure out, we actually don't know how to invite the runners in for interview. But we'll see if we can get that going.
I guess while we're finishing up here, we can also give, in addition to the shout-outs we gave earlier, let's give a shout-out to Fiesel for coming in to help us at the last minute.
Yeah, absolutely. He got the stream set up just right on time. Oh, look at this. We got checks in. Very good.
Welcome, Checks. GG Checks.
GG.
GG. How did you like that?
Oh boy.
Book tease. Nearly last locationing Bombos, having that book on Lumberjack hanging over your head. How did that feel?
That is exactly what it felt like, having a whole other dungeon hanging over my head after one more check. I don't know where I would have gone other than Lumberjack after Mimic Cave.
I have to wonder.
Other than that still.
I was thinking Mitzvah Smiths as a sequence break to protect against Bombos tablet or Ether tablet just locking another glove, because that would feel really bad, right?
That would be very smart, yeah.
But it was just Mimic Cave. Orange got to that a little later because his mirror was late, so when he went to TR, he didn't have it. But he went there pretty soon. Like, he ran out of locations like you did. The things that he had left were what I mentioned. He had actually already pulled PED.
To answer a question in chat real quick, this is the only race we have for Links to the Past Overworld Glitches tonight, but I know that tomorrow at 2 Eastern we have another daily race, so...
Yeah, there's also League happening right now. That's been happening through Speed Gaming and through the League channel. That's GG for Orange, by the way. Hitting Ganon with 2 silver arrows.
Just has to get across that 1x3 bridge first.
If you're looking for some League action, we do have a race tomorrow at 8:10 p.m. Eastern between Findrana Drifters and Shack Tools Digging Game. But that's another day.
But more importantly, we have Chex Humans interview.
Yeah, Chex, how's it going?
I apologize. I just want to answer a question before we got too far away.
We did get a little sidetracked there.
Good, GG.
Any tricks that you wish you could have shown off that you weren't able to?
Just if I could execute the ones that I messed up. There are a couple of screen wraps you can perform on the east of the pyramid screen to reach the screen east of Swamp Palace. So that can be an interesting shortcut if it works.
Yeah, I saw you doing that in the low percent all dungeons run. I was curious what it actually did because I haven't seen it in action yet. I just seen you attempting it.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's faster. Just
so if I was you, I would have
route.
taken that blue potion and fake fluted directly to 7 because you had just bought it. I thought I got to talk about fake flutes and then you didn't use the potion. That was a little sad.
No, I haven't used a fake flute in a long time, and I've forgotten at this point. So yeah, that's what I should do.
So we're joined by Orange as well.
GG Orange.
GG.
GG's. No audio yet?
No audio for Orange. He's here. I don't see him muted. Well, we can keep talking about those cool clips you were doing until Orange gets here.
Yeah. As somebody who doesn't understand OWG that well, I enjoyed watching that race. So.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
It's a really good game mode to learn, and keep an eye out for these weekly races we hold every Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern. You can pop into people's streams to watch them. You can put up a multi-stream as well. Orange has dropped down to the waiting room. I'm not sure what he's waiting on.
Probably trying to fix audio. And
right,
welcome back to Orange. Can you hear us now?
Nope.
Chat has mentioned that they did enjoy watching your hovers today. Chex?
Yeah, thanks.
Orange is having some mic difficulties. If you want to pop into the chat as well, we can answer or ask you your questions in chat.
Yeah, the routing was pretty silly, and it wasn't very smooth, but despite that, it was fun to show off a lot of weird routing and clips.
All right, so we have Orange in text chat with us. His mic isn't working, but we can still ask him the questions. First thing, I've already asked Chex this. How did you feel having that book hanging over your head the whole time?
We said that would be a last location if it came down to it.
Yeah, for me, it was just, I didn't want the lumberjack item to be the answer again, so I'm glad it wasn't.
What do you mean again?
Well, it's happened before where we just forgot about it. Walter anyway.
Oh, you were mentoring Walter in the race where Mira was there.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't blame you for that because Mira was logging Pendant Swamp. It's a really awful chain of events you have to do.
Yeah.
For anyone who watches this in the future, or Koopa or Orange says that he committed from the get-go that he was going to last locate book. If he's writing a seed, the Book of Mudora never leads to anything.
Yeah, it sucks. The book sucks. It's awful until it's Vanilla Bombos, and then it's awful in a different way. So how far out of your way?
Any less awful?
How far out of your way would you have gone? I'm curious if you would have done Mitzvah Smiths before fighting Aghanim.
Orange says, other than that, not playing for 3 weeks really showed. You know, for most of us, it didn't really look like it meant that way. And it looks like Orange would have bought a red or green potion and done a YBA for the Smith chain. YBA being Yuzuhara?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
Yuzuhara's
Yuzuhara Bottle Adventure. We talked about it briefly. Using a potion on a screen transition, it kind of messes with the memory a little bit. The game kind of adds numbers together it's not supposed to add, and it has unintended effects. One of those is to move the collision around on your screen so that you can walk to the smith without getting the mitts. The other one would be to put you in a fake flute. Most of the YBAs you'll be seeing in an overall glitches are fake flutes because they're convenient. They're a very good sequence break. They're not in logic, but they're a very good way to get around the world quickly and to skip certain in-logic clips that would require slow mirror clips off the mountain. You can just flute off the mountain instead, and that's much faster. So keep an eye on these races that we have. You'll get to see a lot more tricks down the line. Hopefully we'll get to put on some more glitch races for you through speed gaming as well. Yeah, Orange says that he messed up skydive twice. Skydive is another word for super jump that we saw both runners attempt. Ice Palace flipper wrap, Orange doing very good save and quit out of that so he doesn't hard lock. Mirrorless TR wrap, again, not an easy trick. I want to mention your skydive. You were almost there. You just were slightly to the left. If you had moved a little bit to the right and jumped down, you would have been fine.
Hard locking on that flipper wrap would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah. I was saying in commentary that when people will often go for the flipper wrap because it feels like it's safer than mirror wrap, but I've seen more people hard lock doing flipper wrap than mirror wrap.
Because I don't think the last time you saved was until before you got your mirror out of checkerboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Orange says, screw it, I'm mirror wrapping instead. And of course, with a save and quit, you can kind of do that with impunity. If you hard lock, it's no big deal. You just start over. All right, any other thoughts about the race or about any tricks, about glitch modes in general from the runners?
No. If anyone's curious about glitch modes, stop on by the glitch modes channels of the Discord. People are always willing to help out.
Yeah, we have a ton of resources available, both human and non-human. A lot of guides written over time, a lot of them by me, because when I was learning, my best way to learn was to make a guide. And once I made the guide, I would know how to do it. And I put those guides together, and now they're there for everybody else to use. Go into that glitch training channel to ask questions. You can go into glitch talk just to ask, learn about the mode. Watch more of these races to learn how to route. Look at those collection rates, 184 and 186, so close to each other.
Is that a normal collection rate in one of these seeds?
It's a pretty bad. This is pretty high. The 186, one of those is a ped pull that checks didn't do. Not sure what the other one is.
This is the biggest. This is the highest I've had since I can remember.
Oh, Orange picked up the flute.
Oh, Orange got the flute.
I was going to
There it
ask
is.
about that.
Flute and
Forgot
ped pull.
about that.
And you guys otherwise
that
did
would
the
have been
exact
nice.
same things. Yep.
But that's okay. Without the mirror for so long, flute didn't make too much of a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 185 is a really bad seed. That's the kind of seed you pull ped in. Most of them will finish at around like 160, 170. The cool thing about this mode is, despite how bad the seed was, both runners did sub to it, and not just out of their skill, but also because when you have these glitches available to you, you can move through the world quicker. So even the bad seeds don't take that long.
It's actually worth noting, since we started interviews, the entire race is finished. We had runner forfeit, unfortunately, but we did have all three other runners sub to the seed, regardless.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Krubble finished at 156.09. Krubble is a runner in the tournament right now. He's been doing very well. Finished second highest in Swiss. A very fun runner to watch. He likes to run Sprite Shuffler and MSU Shuffler, so you get a very good visual experience as you watch him do these glitches with Link's head turning all sorts of directions.
Pretty
fun.
creepy.
This was absolutely an excellent introduction to overworld glitches for me.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. We didn't have to do anything with the Moon Pearl-less Dark World, so it wasn't like so much to explain. That's for another race. We'll have to explain Moon Pearl-less Dark World in another day. All right. So before we wrap up, I'd like to once again give a shout out to our runners. Chex Human and Orange, our tracker, Professor Pixie, and co-commentator Zeke Highwind, and our restreamer at the last minute, Feasel, putting this on at the last minute for us, and Professor Renderer for opening the race room and getting everything started.
Make sure to follow Malmo, who, again, without this, I would have been so lost. And make sure to follow the Speed Gaming family of channels. We have 6 English channels and a handful of foreign language channels. So,
yeah,
all
thanks
right.
so much for commentating, Malmo and Zeke. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks,
I always
everyone.
look forward to these.
with that, have a good evening, everybody. My name is Zeke Wind, signing out.